I'm going to share with you a story today that might shake you, but it's a story that needs to be told, because so many of us ignore its lessons. Picture this, a young man, he's ambitious, hardworking, and he has a fire in his belly to prove everyone wrong. His parents were simple folk, and he saw how hard they struggled, and that lit a fire under him. He didn't want that life for himself. He dreamed of owning his own company. He wanted to be respected, financially free. He had a vision, and instead of dreaming about it, he did something about it. And suddenly, this man was broke, desperate, alone. But the older man blocked him. He blocked his calls, he ignored his messages, he avoided him everywhere. And the young man was devastated. He lost his business, he lost his money, he lost his respect, he lost his family. We can avoid this fate by learning the lessons from this story, by applying them to our lives. What if it's a friend, a family member, a partner, someone who loves us? Well, you're right. It's harder when it's someone close to us. That's why we need to be even more cautious. We need to be even more vigilant, because the closer they are, the deeper the betrayal can cut. The closer they are, the more damage they can do. The closer they are, the harder it is to forgive. But we need to remember that we can't control other people. We can't force them to be honest, to be trustworthy, to be reliable. We can't change them, we can't fix them, we can't save them, and we shouldn't try. Instead, we should focus on ourselves, on our own behavior, on our own reactions, on our own growth. We need to ask ourselves, are we being reasonable? Are we being rational? Are we being fair? Are we being realistic? Are we being loving? And if the answer is yes, then we need to trust our instincts and follow them. We need to be willing to walk away from anyone who doesn't treat us the way we deserve, anyone who doesn't respect our boundaries, anyone who doesn't value our feelings, anyone who doesn't support our dreams. We need to be aware that not everyone who smiles at us is our friend. Not everyone who praises us wants us to win. Not everyone who helps us genuinely cares. We need to see the signs. We need to read the signals. We need to trust our instincts. We need to remember that everyone has an agenda. Everyone has a price. Everyone has something to hide. And we need to be smart enough to protect ourselves. And he was left with nothing. And as he sat there picking up the pieces of his shattered life, he realized that he had been betrayed by the very person he had trusted the most, the person he had admired the most, the person he had loved the most. But we need to be brave. We need to be strong. We need to be resilient. We need to remember that we are worth it. We are valuable. We are cherished. We are important. And we shouldn't settle for less. We deserve more. We deserve better. We deserve the best. So let's go out there and find it. Let's go out there and create it. Let's go out there and live it. And he wondered, how could I have been so blind? How could I have missed the warning signs? How could I have trusted this guy? And that's when he learned the most important lesson of his life. And he turned to the guy who had become his everything. But we need to be careful, because sometimes these people have hidden agendas. Sometimes these people are wolves in sheep's clothing. Sometimes these people are using us as much as we're using them, if not more. And the worst part is that sometimes we don't realize it until it's too late. We become dependent on these people. We become attached to their charm, their charisma, their status, their power, their wealth. And we ignore our gut feelings. We ignore our intuition. We ignore the red flags. And then when these people drop us, when they leave us, when they betray us, we're screwed, we're ruined, we're broken. And he asked him, help me, please, save my business. Please don't let me fail. And the older businessman looked at him and smiled. What do you mean, save your business? I'm sorry, I can't help you. Your problem isn't mine. I don't owe you anything. We had our fun, we had our time, we made our money. Now you're on your own. Well, the young man was shocked. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. He thought he had misunderstood. He thought he was joking, but no, he wasn't. He was serious. The older man had no sympathy, no empathy, no remorse. He just walked away. He left the young man to fend for himself. He worked extra jobs. He saved every penny. He planned and strategized. And when he was ready, he launched his business. He poured his heart and soul into it. And for a while, things were tough, but he held on. He hustled. He kept learning. He kept going. And then one day, his life changed. A successful businessman came into his shop. Now, this guy, he knew the guy wasn't like the others. He knew he had something special. They connected. They talked for hours. This guy saw potential in him. He saw someone who reminded him of himself when he was starting out, and he said, hey, listen, I want to help you. I want to be a mentor. What the young man thought he was dreaming. Someone like him wanted to help him. It felt surreal. The older businessman started giving him advice, introduced him to other people, opened doors for him, connected him with investors. And within a year, the young man's business exploded. His life changed. He went from struggling to thriving, from doubts to confidence, from fear to excitement. He couldn't believe his luck. He thought he had hit the jackpot. He thought he had found the friendship of a lifetime. And he was so grateful. He thought he owed this guy his success. He thought he owed him his life. And he did. And he didn't realize it. This guy became more than a mentor. He became a confidant, a friend, a companion. They hung out, played golf, traveled together, partied together. The young man started spending all his time with this guy. He started neglecting his family. He started losing interest in his hobbies. He started becoming someone he didn't recognize. And his wife noticed and she asked him, "Hey, what happened to you? Who are you? Where are you going? Why aren't you coming back?" And he wouldn't listen. He was blinded by the success. He was drunk on the excitement. He was lost in the thrill of it all. He thought he was invincible. He thought he could do anything, and he did. For a few years, he made a ton of money. He climbed the ladder of success. He lived the high life, drove the fast cars, wore the expensive clothes, stayed in fancy hotels, ate at Michelin-star restaurants. He thought he had it all. Then one day, the unthinkable happened. His business collapsed, the economy took a downturn, the investors pulled out, the clients disappeared, the money dried up. The young man tried to call him, he tried to beg him, he tried to plead with him. We all meet people in our lives who seem too good to be true, who seem like a blessing, who seem like they're sent from heaven to help us, to guide us, to lead us to the promised land. But it doesn't have to be this way. Now, you might be thinking, great, easy for you to say, but what if it's someone close to us? I know it's scary, I know it's hard, I know it's painful.